All right, Jamel, this is going to be our kind of rapid fire question segment. And so
Okay.
I'm just going to ask questions. First thing coming to mind, obviously there's no wrong answers because it's your answers.
Yeah.
All right, but let's get into it.
Lord help me.
You got this. What is your most expensive piece of gear?
I'm gonna say my desk, bro.
Okay. Yeah, but that makes sense. You need to be comfortable if you're working. So
I'm gonna sleep in an expensive bed, bro.
Hey, me too. That's part of getting a little older. It's like
100%.
comfort is number one.
Comfort is number one.
So that I dig that.
Yep.
How about this? What is your least expensive or cheapest piece of useful gear? Like something that you get some use out of.
Bruh. I'm gonna have to say either the SM58 or the 57.
Got it. Makes sense.
You cannot go wrong with those two pieces, those two mics.
Yeah.
You can do anything with them. Michael Jackson recorded a whole album on a not 57, but SM7B.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I can go dynamic mics and be done. So yeah.
Well, that's good. That's good advice too, because everybody ain't got
No.
20 grand to build a studio. So now we talking about mics that less than $100.
$100.
And you can get a couple of them.
You can get a couple
and start working.
Yep.
Let's say we throw budget out the window. Family's good, everybody's good. You don't got to worry about money. You can spend whatever you want. What is your dream piece of gear that you don't already have?
Bro, and it's so crazy. Honestly, it would be, and I feel like I'm cheating on Apollo by saying this. I would move over to the Orion 32 system.
Okay.
I really would.
What's the price point of those? I've never looked.
Do you even know where it starts? I don't even know, and I don't even care.
That's
but
like
I
the
know
restaurant with no prices on the menu.
Exactly.
If you gotta ask.
If I gotta ask, you ain't got enough, bro. You can't afford it.
You're not.
But I'm so heavily invested in Apollo, I can't even move over.
Same for me.
I would do that.
Work. Your workflow is what it is. I'm an Apollo guy. Like I appreciate that. I understand that. What about this? We don't get in trouble, but oh well, it's our podcast. A piece of gear you regret buying. Going to put them on blast. Line them up.
Yeah, let me go and put them on blast. So Mackie made this, and this is not Mackie, but Mackie made a big knob, right?
Okay, yeah.
Which was sweet. I didn't want to spend big knob money.
Okay.
How about this Behringer knob?
Okay.
And so people would come to my studio and they'd be like, "What's that?" I say, "Yeah, man, this Behringer knob. For real now?" And I realized that thing was doo-doo.
It did none of what it was for.
No.
Because sometimes you do try to go the cheap way.
You do, bro.
And you regret it.
You regret it.
It don't give you what you needed.
Not.
It's not worth the money.
No.
Oh, man. So how about this? Let's say you're starting a studio from scratch. And this is advice for all the producers who are watching. And you got to buy your first 5 items. Whatever that looks like.
Yeah.
What are the first 5 things that you would like, man, I'm starting from nothing. I can't do no work if I don't have these.
Number 1, a computer.
Got it.
And I suggest a Mac.
Yep.
Because you can buy Logic or GarageBand free.
And
you good.
You start working right away.
Start working right away. Man. Second thing is headphones.
Okay.
And I would invest into, so your most expensive headphones is going to give you something way more valuable than speakers anyway.
Yeah.
Because
get you some aerodynamics or something.
If you don't have a control room, your speakers don't matter.
Got it.
They lying to you anyway. So get some higher end headphones.
Got it.
Get you a small 25 key to 61 key keyboard.
Got it. So controller.
Controller, and get you a little decent mic.
Okay.
I mean, you can start with the MXLs. If you remember those,
yeah,
those things were less than $100, and they were not condenser, but what is the pattern? I can't think of it.
Omni?
Not
Cardioid?
Nope, it's cardioid.
Yeah.
Doggone it.
Well,
cardio mic. So
we don't know nothing about nothing. Apparently, we don't do this at all.
We don't do this at all. I could not think of the pattern.
We just out here making up stuff.
But yeah, so you can get that MXL, man. Yeah. It's incredible. I got one somewhere around here.
Yeah,
and I think I paid like $75, less than $100.
And that feels like less than $3,000.
And a pop filter.
Okay, got it. There's 5 things.
Don't forget that. Yep.
Yeah. And we're assuming you're getting a mic stand or a headphone extender, little small.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. How about this? If you could start your studio over, like you can start again, what would you do differently this time?
I would go room with inside of a room.
Okay.
And so I would make sure that This came up on the level, and then I had that 2-inch air gap, top, front, bottom,
Got
so I can separate my madness from my family.
Got it. Yeah, because it's. I mean,
Yeah.
my poor wife and
Yep.
mine's not even treated as well as yours.
Yeah.
But they just you getting all
You
this.
get you getting all this. It's 11 o'clock at night, and that's the only time my drummer can get here to cut.
Yeah, so my neighbors.
Yep.
At least it sound good.
Yep. You're gonna get this noise. So.
All right. So how about this? Last question for this segment. If you had to give advice to producers on how to get the most out of their gear, like what would you tell them? Because everybody's at different budgets, you're at different starting points, you got different access.
Yeah.
But if you got a piece of gear and you're a producer, we all kind of start even. So what advice would you give them?
I would say, Dukes, I would say start with the most inexpensive and develop the use of it, and then start buying things that are more expensive. But take a stock plug-in from Logic. Don't buy what's the most waves. You don't have to get
UA, whatever, whoever stuff.
Don't even buy it. Don't spend your money there. You take with stock and build and learn what these actual, what they do.
Right.
And so start with what you can get your hands on first before you go out trying, because you'll do like I did. I was just buying stuff and didn't even know know how to use it.
Right.
I'm just buying it because social media convinced me to spend my money and YouTube. So YouTube is a valuable resource. We call it YouTube University.
Right.
People like what we're doing here. You have access to this stuff. Spend your time on that.
Right.
Like listening to people that actually make sense to your workflow.
Got it.
So find people, listen to podcasts that make sense to you, because man, I'm telling you, information is everything.
Yeah.
So you can get in a room by yourself, and nobody there to critique you. So you need somebody to help critique you if you're working on your own. So use YouTube, use industry reference songs. So if you're producing a song, go get an industry reference of similar.
Yeah.
Let that be that second person in the room with you.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? Because they're going to tell you what you're doing wrong. Your kick is not balanced. That's a horrible sound choice. You know what I mean? Use that reference as your second person in the room with you.
Got it.
Because most of us don't have people to work with.
Yeah.
We're really doing it by ourselves. So use that reference. So yeah.
Yeah. So actually, last question. You know how preachers are. They just.
Yeah, this is the third close.
My close. I'm like, we're gonna get you out of here now.
It's your third one.
Can I have 4 more minutes?
Right.
Put 4 more minutes on the clock.
And that turns into how many? Another 30 minutes?
Another 37 minutes before we go on to music. All the musicians are like, we gotta go. It sounds to me like a lot of your process is about trying to figure out how and not necessarily what to do. Like more so putting reasons behind things, like a why. So like even when you talk about gear, it seems a lot like you talk about, well, why do I need this?
Why do I need it? Yep.
Why is this important? And like what you just referenced with people doing a lot of background work to kind of figure out the how and the why. For you, if you had to sum up like your production style and like your equipment and studio and all of that, how much time do you spend focused more on like how, like your process, versus the what, like the actual process itself?
Well, I think the how has been developed already because I got skin in the game. I've been doing this a while, so my how does not change anymore.
That's good.
I need to make sure that I'm in a mental space.
Got it.
Because the how is already there. I just got to get in it.
Got it.
And I got to mentally be ready to jump in there. You know what I mean? So for me, it's more or less protecting my creativity, my mental capacity.
Got it.
The how has been created because I've done so much work that I know now what works for me. You know what I mean? And I was never afraid to make mistakes and try things, but I never took a mistake as just a mistake. I said, all right, I learned. I'll never do that again. Okay. That's where producers get our foresight.
Right.
It's by experience. They call that 10,000 hours for a reason.
Right.
In those 10,000 hours, you're going to gain information that's going to make you a better producer. You know what I mean? So my how, it's important to find out your how, because my how is not going to be yours.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And so maybe just listen to other producers and, just gauge how they do it and try to balance it and see if it works for you. Okay. If it don't find you and don't compare, what somebody else does and how they do it as the prototype.
Got it.
Because I've done that before. I said, man, I'm not productive this way. And I realized I'm trying to do Pharrell's thing.
Right.
That's just not working for me. So I'm gonna stop being for real, and I'm gonna do what makes me more productive. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So definitely find your own how. You know
Got
what I
it.
mean? If that answered your question.
That's perfect.
Mhm.
All right, everybody. It's Stephen Dukes and the master, Jamel Kimbrough, one of the greatest producers, arrangers, the list, engineers, all the titles. One of the humblest guys out here. He gave us the opportunity to see his space, and I'm different now because I learned a bunch of stuff.
Man, I'm different. You are excellent. Thanks for having me too, man. This has been a pleasure. I've always wanted to do a studio tour.
Okay, well
So boom, you get it.
we got one. We gonna do more. Gospel producers in the building. John Mike, thanks for giving us the chance to come hang out. Next time you got to come with us too,
Yeah, man.
and we will see you on the next episode.
Peace.